Hello everyone, this is ML Naruto. Welcome to my channel. So today in this video, I'll be talking about a particular option called Freeze Panes. So it is actually located in this View tab, in specifically in this window group. So this is the option that I want to talk about, that is Freeze Panes. So I'm gonna tell you how to use it and in which situation do we usually need to use it. So see this. For example, if I select this top row here, so the count is 32. In the sense, there are total 32 columns are present in our data set. So if there are 32 rows, 32 columns. So for example, if I ask you about what is this cell about? I want to know to which column does it actually belong to? Obviously, you would say that this particular cell, that is 1, is actually belong to this marital status, right? And if I select this 44 here in this cell, I want to know to which column does it actually belong to. Obviously, you would say age column, right? And what if I go to some 40th row, okay? And if I have selected some this particular cell, and if I want to know what is this cell about, in the sense to which column does it actually belong to, I want to know this thing. So what do you do now? Can you tell me to which column does it actually belong to? You can't. Why? Because there are n number of columns. In the sense, there are huge number of columns, 32 maybe, 32 number of columns. So in out of these 32 many columns, you can't really remember each and every row for which the column actually belongs to. So you can't even remember this. So how to do that now? How to how to find a solution for this particular scenario? See, whenever I'm actually present here, I'll be seeing all my column names. But whenever I scroll down, I won't be seeing them. Why? Why? Because those are actually getting moved away along with my scroll bar. See, if I go down to any number of row, I won't be seeing any column names here. But I want to avoid this situation. In this scenario, we usually use this particular option called freeze panes. So I want to see all my column names every time whenever I scroll down. I want to keep them freezed. So how to do that? Just select this particular top row and go to this option called freeze panes. Select the drop down. Tap on this freeze top row here. See, now if I scroll down, even if I go to any number of row, I'll be seeing my column names every time. See, I'm actually at 150th row. Okay. Even though I'm at 150th row, still uh I'll be seeing it all my column names. Then if you ask me the same question again, see, if you just point out at any cell and if you just ask me to which column does this particular cell actually belong to, I I usually say caller ID. Caller ID is the column to which this particular cell is actually belong to. So, so this is it. In such kind of situations, it would be very much useful. Okay. Now, anyways, we have freezed this column, but we have finished our work. We have finished with our work, and we want to place it back in its normal position. So, how to unfreeze it again? Just tap on this freeze panes option and tap on this unfreeze panes. Then obviously everything would be unfreezed. Now if I scroll down again, I won't be seeing any column name. See here. Why? Because the top row is in unfreezed mode. Okay. Now likewise, I also want to freeze a particular column, that is age column. I want to freeze this. So that's why I have selected the entire column and I'm going at this freeze panes drop down. I'm selecting freeze first column. Okay. Now, if I use the scroll bar to my right side, every column is actually getting moved away, but not my age column. Why? Because I have already freezed my age column. See, just observe the change here. Okay. So anyways, we have freezed our column, desired column. Now I want to place it back in its normal position again. So just select this column and go to this freeze panes drop down. Just tap on that unfreeze panes. Okay. Now this is the scenario wherein you will be freezing only one column or only one row. But if I want to freeze some maybe 5 rows, so how to do that? For example, see age, marital status, address, income, car price. So till car price I want to freeze. So if I want to freeze until from age to car price, then I would be selecting this particular column that is actually lying just beside it. Okay, so I'm selecting education column, and if I just go on to this freeze panes drop down, uh, here tap on this freeze pane option. Then if I just move the scroll bar, see here all my 5 rows 1 2 3 4 5 from age to car price are actually getting freezed. See, if I use this scroll bar here, every single column is actually getting moved, but not my 5 columns. See why? Because those 5 columns have been freezed. Okay, now we have freezed and we have finished with our work and we want to place it back again. So how to unfreeze them? Just go to this freeze pane drop down, select unfreeze. Now, if you use the scroll bar, obviously your 5 columns would be moving away. Why? Because those are actually in unfreezed mode. Okay. Now, if you also want to freeze some top 10 rows, then what kind of row would you be selecting? If you want 10 rows to be freezed, you would be selecting 11th row and you would be tapping on this freeze panes drop down and again tap on this freeze panes. Now if you just look at these top 10 rows would be freezed. See here. See, if I'm actually scrolling down, all the rows are actually getting moved away, but not my top 10 rows. So this is the scenario here. And uh, how to unfreeze them again? Just select these top 10 rows and go to this freeze panes drop down, select this unfreeze panes. Now, if you just use scroll button, obviously your top 10 rows would also be moving away. Why? Because those are in unfreezed mode. Okay. Now, if you want to select a portion of rows and columns, you don't want to disturb them. For example, I want to select top 10 rows. I want to select top 10 rows of my uh, age, marital status, and address columns. For example, see here. I want to make I want to have rows of my columns, top 10 rows of my columns, age, marital status, and address. So I would be selecting this D income. Okay. And I want to have some 10 rows to be freezed. Okay. In the sense, this row I would be selecting here. So if I, for example, see here, if I select this particular cell here, and if I go to this freeze panes option, then obviously this portion, this square part would be freezed, and everything besides that would be moving away. See here, if you just scroll down, those three columns would be still freezed, except those 3 columns. Every column would be moving away. Okay. Now, if you just use this scroll bar again here, top top 10. Okay, sorry. I think I have only selected 9 rows, I think. So I'll show you again. See here. I want to have only these 3 columns. So I would be selecting this D column just lying beside to these 3 columns. Why? Because the last one would be excluded. Okay. And I want to have some 10 rows. In the sense, I would be selecting this 11th row and I want to match 11th row and the D column. Where is it actually coordinating? Here. here it would be coordinating. So if I select a D and 11th here, and if I select for freeze panes, then obviously this particular 10 rows of my columns, age, marital status, and address, are actually in a freezed position. See, if I use scroll down here, all the 10 rows would be remained as usual, and except those 10 rows, everything would be moving away. Okay, and whenever I use this particular scroll bar, all my rows would be moving away except my these three columns: age, marital status, and address. Okay, now we have finished with our work, and if we want to unfreeze them, just go to this freeze panes and tap on this unfreeze panes. That's it. Okay, now this is how you can use freeze panes option usually. And also, if you want to add this beautiful option to your quick access toolbar, so what you can do is you can just go here and go to this more commands option. You can select for commands not in the ribbon, and then just go to this F section here. Why? Because freeze panes starts with the letter F. So where is it? Freeze. Yeah, here it is. Just select this and click add here. It won't. Why? Because I have already added this. For example, if I am removing this, okay, now for example, select this commands not in the ribbon, and then go to the F section, that is F category, that is freeze panes. Here we have selected this F freeze panes, and click add button here. Then obviously it would get added. And if you just click OK, see here in this quick access toolbar, here you would be having an option called freeze panes. So directly you can access everything related to freeze panes from the quick access toolbar itself. You need not to go every time to this view tab, and need not to go to this window group. Okay, so this would be the usage of this freeze panes. I hope you like the content. If you just liked my way of teaching, hit like and share it with your friends. Jai Hind. Take care.